How's it going, everybody? Vegeta saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you all sorts of Dragon Ball and gaming content. Today what we're going to be doing is, we're going to be looking at, kind of doing a quick little discussion about the meta, as well as doing an equipment guide for the new Zenkai Super Saiyan Gohan from the Broly movie, the second Broly movie. So I want to do a discussion first, and then we'll hop in to do the equipment guide, but I think for me, I had a few days to sit on it and think about it. I think for me, the main thing that I have kind of realized over the last couple of days is that the meta didn't get any worse with these two being added, because it's not like they're not good, it's just like they don't do anything that like makes hybrids worse than what they already were. D3 kind of made a point of like, how can you can only like make a team so broken before it's like, okay, well, anything broken that you add isn't going to make them any more broken than they already were. I mean, adding a team heal with him is like, or with this blue Gohan right here, it's like, it was already there with Revival Gohan. The only difference is he doesn't buff it, or he doesn't heal himself. Like, so it's not like they're putting things here that are kind of like, you know, groundbreaking, meta-breaking, or anything like that. He's a really good tank. He's got an amazing cover change. I definitely like him a lot. I definitely think he's well built, as is Goten. Goten's fantastic in terms of the sub-count manipulation he does, the damage output he's got. But do I think that either of them are, you know, like the end-all, be-all? No, I don't think that either of them definitively take the spot from either of their units that they're competing with. Like, I don't think this guy definitively takes the spot from Blue Trunks, and I very much don't think that Goten takes the spot from Revival Gohan. Revival's just too powerful. So with that in mind, it's kind of like one of those things of like, it's 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. Like, it's the same difference. It doesn't really matter who you end up going against. They're a nuisance regardless. They're gonna suck to deal with regardless. And so with that in mind, I do kind of just want to prepare people as best I can, because I do personally, like, I would like to Zenkai this guy. I'm going to wait to see what the announcement is for next week, because I think it's going to be an LF, and the signs are pointing to an LF from the Broly movie, the first Broly, or maybe even the second Broly as well. But regardless, I want to wait and see first, but I do plan on Zenkaiing this guy because, quite frankly, I plan on running hybrids the last few days of the season, like the last 3 days of the season, just to get that RP. And I think that's fair for most people, you know, to just like say, fuck it, I'm going in. I've been running movies all season, and I've been doing just fine with them. But, you know, to make sure I get that RP at the end of the season, I'm going hybrids. So I'm kind of encouraging people to do the same. So I want to prepare people as best as possible. So yeah, we'll hop right into it. So first up, we have the Awakened Frenzied Power, and this one should be pretty familiar to most people right now, I'd say. And that's because you can get the Awakenings for it. Normally you would be getting them in Ultra Space Time Rush, but for this one you get them from co-op itself. Whether you're doing Extreme, whether you're doing Hard, whether you're doing Medium, you get this Awakening no matter what. And it's a really powerful equip, and it's clearly specifically made for this dude right here, considering that you're getting 20% to strike defense, 30% to blast defense, which is his highest stat. Well, that's not true, because obviously his offenses are higher, but that's his I guess, ideal stat, because he is a defense unit, and it's running at like 190-something K, so he really benefits from blast defense. Anywho, health, and then health restoration. For someone who's doing a team heal, that's really, really solid. So yeah, very easy to come by, because again, you're getting the Awakenings from co-op, and then we'll hop over to the game real quick to show you where to get the actual equip. So we do have the free-to-play Broly event going on right now, as well as the place where you're getting the daily, the daily Z-Power for the Gohan that we're talking about, obviously, here. And you can get the Legends Limited, you can get the 100 multi-Z, whatever it is, Z-Power for the LF Goten. So in this one right here, you got to go through the initial, I think it's 5 fights, and then once you get to the extreme fights, it's the one over here on the left, and yeah, pretty easy to farm up. And the best thing about this is like, you don't even have to upgrade them. Like in the past, Platinum Awakenings are like, you need like 3 A copies of it, the equip in the first place, then you need like 4 more A equips on top of that are gold or higher, and so it's just like, they're a nightmare to farm up, whereas this one right here is literally any rarity of this, just one copy, and you can upgrade it. So this is really, really easy to farm up, and I would definitely recommend doing it while this event and co-op are still dropping them. Next, we've got the Awakened Ha, and I personally use this equip all the time on a multitude of different characters. Whether or not you're a strike-based or a defense-based movie character, I think this is truly one of the most valuable movie equips out there, considering that you're getting 18% to both defenses and 20% to strike attack, and the best part about it is it's just unanimous across the board movie equip. So really any strike-based movie character I like to throw it on, he is more strike-oriented than blast-oriented. So just to kind of give him a little bit of an offensive buff as well as giving him those really strong defensive perks, I think this is a really nice equip for him to have. And then this one's easy enough to farm up using your equipment medals and Z medals, which I know not everybody comes by so easily, but definitely a good one to prioritize on just because of how indiscriminate the conditions are to equip it. Next up, we've got You Failure, and this is one that I personally really like for a multitude of reasons, because I think this is one that can apply for a multitude of different characters, and works really well for this guy specifically, for really any defense or melee type that is a movie character, because you're getting 15% 30% to strike defense, since the first 2 slots are strike defense, and then lastly, it's still going to be a pure buff to strike defense if you are rolling the defensive roll. But it is once again, it's a pure buff based on having a defense type, and he is a defense type. So getting all that, he just is just going to wall out, and since a lot of the meta is really strike-oriented, this is really just going to come in handy a lot of the time. And if not, you're getting the pure buff for strike attack when you have a melee battle member. A lot of the times, this guy's going to be running alongside Future Gohan, if not alongside Revival-Han, both of which are melee types, so this is very easy to satisfy as well. Another pretty easy one to come by is the No Way equipment. Now this one right here is not the greatest tanking equip in the game, but it still does a very good job, and I know for a fact that I've seen some higher level players just slap this on their Revive Gohan once you get up to just try and make him a little bit tankier. So I would definitely recommend doing the same for this boy right here, because it's got 12.5% to blast defense, 15% to strike defense, and then 10% to health. Literally just there to make him a bit beefier, and yeah, while it's not as nearly as strong as its Awakened version, still very good regardless, because it's just a nice little defense equip across the board. In order to obtain it, we go over to the equipment collection, and you go over to the Sagas battle, which you'll find Pikkon, Cooler, and Broly, and in there it'll be the last reward over here. Very easy to come by once you beat it, which is super easy to do considering how low level they are. You can just skip Ticket to your heart's content. Next, we have the Awakened, this key, it's gotta be, and this one is pretty fire because it's just got a little bit of everything. While its highest one is Blast Attack, which is probably his worst stat, if we're being realistic here, because you want his defenses to be his highest priority, and then Strike Attack in terms of his offense. This works out really well because you're getting double offense, double defense, and critical. And now that critical is really nice if you're running a blue-purple setup with him, Bardock, and the Revival Gohan. I know that's not everybody's forte, but regardless, the double offense, double defense is still pretty valuable, regardless of the rest of the stats all being 12-13%, besides the blast attack. So with this one, it's pretty easy to come by since the unawakened version you can get in 3 different exchange shops. You can get it in the Z medals, the equipment medals, and you can get it in the Ultra Space Time Rush shop if you're not looking to get Zenkai Souls or whatever. If you're just looking to use your Rush medals, however, on Awakenings, because first of all, you're going to need to buy the Awakenings from there, but you can buy the regular equip from there too for 200 Rush medals, which is fairly cheap. It's the same as buying souls, and if you're not buying souls, it's easy enough to do. Next up, we've got I Want to Fight, and this one is very easy to come by as well. I think the thing about this one is the first roll is kind of whatever, but you're going to want to try and roll strike defense here. But, I mean, regardless, it doesn't really matter. What's nice, though, is after that, is you're getting special move and ultimate damage in the middle, and his ult is really cool, considering that when you activate it, it shortens ally sub count by 10. So even if you miss, it's still got a lot of value, but juicing it up a little bit is really nice, especially because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's just Goten's, I believe it's his as well. I believe it gets buffed up when you have more allies left. And then last but not least, you have either health or damage to regen. Now, damage to regen could be really valuable, but I think health is really the one you're going to want to be rolling, especially because this guy has a lot of health. Like, I believe at 14 stars, Zenkai 7, you get like 2.8 mil health. It's some absurd number like that. So, yeah, definitely worth looking into some health equips for him, and this one's easy enough to come by. Heading back to the equipment selection, let me try that again. Heading back to the equipment collection, we have the hybrid battle, and over here you got Mystic Gohan, Goten, and Gohan, which is it's fine. They're low level. They're not Zenkai, but it's just traumatizing nonetheless. Over here, it'll be right here in the middle. And yeah, pretty easy to come by, pretty easy to farm up. Yeah, that's that. And actually, you know what, while we're here, rather than just jumping over to DB space again, let's look at the other two, because the other two are also going to be mentioned. So you have this one right here that's got strike defense, blast defense, and health right here. Just another defensive equip, you know, for 15%, 15%, 10%. Applies to all hybrid Saiyans. Same place, so very easy to farm both of these defensive equips up for him. And then this one over here, you got the triple exclamation point, which, as it is not so great. You're getting the strike defense and then blast attack and strike attack, which becomes a pure 8% for both when you awaken it. So I'm not recommending this version, I am recommending the awakened version. But the fact that you can acquire all three equips here is very, very convenient, and considering that all three of these are really useful, I would definitely recommend just skipping this event as much as you can. Maybe do, like, if you have 10 energy sitting around, might as well, like, just use it to waste some energy if you need to clear some dailies. And just to prove I am not a filthy liar, Mouth C, it is the pure buff of 8% to both strike and blast attack. Using your equipment medals, we've got the It's All You Gohan, which is strike defense, blast defense, and a pure strike attack per Sun Family battle member. Considering that even Hybrid Saiyans is mostly Sun Family at this point, fairly usable, fairly valuable, and very easy to come by, considering that once again, it's just costing you your equipment medals. Ending off our list, we have the Awakened You Can Do It, right, Gohan? And this one over here is, I would say, it's not necessarily, it's kind of like the reverse of the triple exclamation point equip, and it really does kind of lean into the Sun Family build, but granted, again, Hybrids is mainly Sun Family at this point, so I don't think that's too big of a deal. You're going to get 5% to strike defense, and then 18% to strike attack, 18% to blast attack. I think the exclamation point one is better just because the pure buff to the offenses I think is a lot more solid, but a lot would argue it's funny because I would say that the strike defense buff itself, the pure strike defense buff, is the most valuable between the two equips, but overall the two pure buffs to offenses and the high defensive slot I think is more valuable at the end of the day. So that's that. I hope you guys found this one helpful. I hope you guys kind of finding these, now that I'm showing exactly where to go, a little bit easier to farm them up a little bit. Yeah, that's all. I will see you all in the next one, and best of luck dealing with the hybrid meta. Peace.